Hi, my name is Jeniah Wilde. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to speak about the Airdrie and Cochrane real estate markets because I've done some videos in the past and it seems that I get a lot of calls from people who are outside of the province that really want information on Airdrie and Cochrane. I think one of the reasons that people are drawn to Airdrie and Cochrane when they look at the city of Calgary is because those are the two closest major centers to the downtown core. Both roughly about half an hour to downtown, give or take, depending on traffic. So when people call me from out of province or out of country, looking to get a little bit more information about the market, the conversation generally goes something like, what's your timeline? The reason why timeline is important is because if you're planning on moving soon, I highly recommend booking a trip to come see the area. I mean, I've sold homes to people virtually over FaceTime and photos and videos and that type of thing, and it's doable, but it's better to actually come and see Cochrane and Airdrie for yourself. It also gives me time to set aside, maybe it's a weekend, maybe it's a couple days, maybe it's a week, where I can be available as new homes come on the market. If the market is extremely busy, then we're gonna have to be prepared to go and jump on anything new that comes on. Most people, when they call me, are open to both Cochrane and Airdrie, and some people actually want to view houses in both markets, whereas others, once we've had the conversation, can really narrow it down to one center or the other. One of the big differentiating factors between Cochrane and Airdrie is the landscape. Cochrane is in the foothills, it's quite a bit closer to the mountains. Airdrie's more in the prairies, so it's not as close to the mountains, although both are very close. Cochrane's probably, I'd say, half an hour closer to the mountains than Airdrie, but you can still be on the ski hill from Airdrie in just over an hour. One thing that Cochrane and Airdrie do have in common, which is probably why most people are drawn to those centers outside of Calgary, is they're only half an hour from the downtown core, give or take depending on traffic. So they're the two closest centers that aren't part of the city of Calgary to the downtown core. Airdrie is closer to the airport, however. So if having, good access to the airport is really important to you, then Airdrie's the place to be. You can be at the airport in under 20 minutes. It might even be closer to 15. One of the other factors that people are curious about is the feeling within the different places, so Airdrie versus Cochrane. And one of the biggest differences between the two is Airdrie is a city and Cochrane is still a town. So Airdrie really has all the amenities that you would need. Airdrie has a huge mall and shopping district close by, really good access to the highways. I mentioned great access to the airport. You don't have to go into the city if you're in Airdrie. A lot of people work and live here. Cochrane is more of a small town feel, and it doesn't have as many amenities in Airdrie. It still has everything that you need, but there isn't a huge mall 5 minutes away from the city. You still have to go into Calgary to do that. So the next thing that people are often curious about is the type of home. Does the home vary from Cochrane to Airdrie? And the answer is no. There's pretty similar homes in both Cochrane and Airdrie. If you're looking for a condo in both centers, no problem. If you're looking for a bigger home in both centers, no problem. An acreage, no problem. The biggest difference between Cochrane and Airdrie, though, is you're gonna have a little bit more selection in Airdrie because it is a city versus a town. There's more to choose from and there's more homes to look at than there would be in Cochrane. In Cochrane, the communities tend to be a little bit more spread out, so there's more driving, whereas in Airdrie, it's more of a traditional city where there's walkability from community to community. If walkability is important to you, Airdrie's a better option in that all of the communities are connected and you can get from one end of the city to the other end walking no problem. Because Cochrane's in a river valley, the communities tend to be a little bit more spread out around the river, which makes for a beautiful walk along the river, if that's something you enjoy doing. But getting from one side of Cochrane to the other side of Cochrane isn't as easy as it would be in Airdrie. The biggest difference that people notice is in Cochrane, the views of the mountains are absolutely spectacular, and you can find a lot of great homes with amazing views of the mountains. In Airdrie, the communities tend to be centered a little bit more around a pond or a walking path or a park. And one of the big questions that people often have is there a difference in the housing styles? And is there a difference in the prices? And the answer is not really. The prices are very, very similar between Calgary and Cochrane, and the type of home is also very similar. So you can find an acreage outside of Cochrane and an acreage outside of Airdrie. You can find a condo in both centers. There's townhomes, there's duplexes, there's estate homes, and the architectural style and year of home is very, very similar between the two. And that being said, the pricing is very similar as well. You can find some of the videos I've done on Cochrane and Airdrie here, so you can watch those next if you're looking for more information. And of course, you can always reach out, contact me at the number or email below, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Do I need to be doing Vanna?
Yeah, okay, perfect.
See you in the next video.